Ladies and gentlemen, very pleased to welcome Jihin Radzuan, fresh off arguably the biggest win of your career at 1X. Is that the biggest win of your career, would you say?
Like for this match, I think it's the biggest win in my fighting career, and plus I just beat somebody who had 5-0 record.
How good is she, do you think? Because a lot of people are getting super excited about her. Is she a future champion? Does she rank as one of the toughest people you've ever faced?
To be honest, I think Mei Yamaguchi was my hardest opponent in my whole fight career. Although I had two losses, but then it's not that hard, it's not that, I didn't perform well. But this one, like for Itsuki Hirata, it's actually because I already prepared for her. Like we expected a lot from her, like because previous fight she had like very impressive wins, and we put that high expectation. And for this match, I think I did very good job.
Even though you're like pretty young in the division, you're 23, right? Did you feel like the more experienced, kind of more senior fighter in there in a way?
I think like to compare my record with others fighters, like I had quite a decent, fight records, and I had a lot of fight as well. So not to say age, but then if in the fight records, I think I'm one of the seniors fighters.
I know it's a cliche, but how much do you think you learned from your losses? They were super close, but do you think they helped you evolve?
To be honest, like the last loss against Denice Zamboanga is actually opened my eyes more, because like I'm the type that likes to fight, like to go forward when fighting. Like I try to be more aggressive and try to take positions. Like fighting against Denise really opened my eye, because like sometimes when I try to overcommit with the punches, and then she come in and bang me, and I just like fell down, like easy to get taken down. So like for that match, it's really opened up my eyes to learn how to be more ready when people take me down.
I was so pleased for you because I just think this is such a big win for you, but also for Malaysian MMA. Do you think you got the kind of appreciation you deserve? Because for me, this should be like on the front page in some ways, because like Malaysia beating undefeated Japanese star, somebody who's seen as one of the best young fighters on the planet. That's so big for Malaysia. So do you think, I haven't read all the newspapers, like, in Johor maybe as well, but do you think it got the appreciation it deserved?
To be honest, right, like for the media coverage, it's like very in Malaysia. Like I think that I did pretty well to bring up, like MMA in Malaysia. Like I'm one of the active, like I'm the active fighters other than Agi. Just I fought two times in like I think in
50
14
days.
days or 50 days. So like the media coverage is like really disappoint me lah. Like my coach Melvin, he always check on the like daily news or daily article. Like there's like less than 4 or 5. Even like we've been talking to each other. Like even Hirata, she lost, but a lot of media coverage cover about her, like more than me who won the fight. So like I think that in Malaysia, they don't really appreciate you as a sportsmanship. But like in other country, maybe they tried to interview as well. Like in Malaysia, I don't really think that any reporters come to me and try to interview me.
That's
But
disappointing. Is that an MMA
yeah,
thing or is that a sports thing?
MMA in MMA, yeah, definitely MMA. Like for a reporter, if you cover a lot about sport, you have to like include MMA as well. But then you just this including like this one is like one of the biggest one championship I've ever organized. It's a 10 years anniversary, and you don't even pay attention, or you don't even try to sports me, and I just just do whatever I'm doing.
That is frustrating. Will we see, do you think, the show, and how important is it for the show to come back to the Axiata Arena in KL? Because now it's possible again, right? I think, is it?
So it's actually to like, like to bring back MMA in Malaysia is actually quite important, like to let people know more about MMA. But we have to understand also, because maybe because of the like Malaysia, they didn't bring any like sponsorships or any other circumstances like MCO, like we have to get approval, we have to do this and that. And even like for other sports also, it's like very hard for them to like like organize some events. So I think it's makes sense if they don't want to come back to Axiata Arena. But like like Singapore is just beside Johor Bahru, so I think this one is more easier for me.
Yeah, that's true, actually. How pleased are you to be back in the top 5? And I know you fought twice in 50 days, but are you kind of keen to capitalize on this kind of really good moment that you're having in your career?
uh like it is very important for me, because like one, I am the first Malaysian like to be in the top 5. Like it's very impressive for us, like now. So it's very important for me. And another thing is like after all this time that I've been fighting the toughest opponents, and it doesn't matter whether I lose or win, but I really put on performance. So like like it's really important for me, because now people can see Shadowcat.
And who would be a nice next opponent for you? A rematch with Denice or Alyona?
Ah, it's very, like since last time, it's very hard for me to like call people out. But then since I'm in the top 5, I think one of them is gonna be like like my opponent. So like for now, we just get ready for every fighters in the top 5, and like expect the unexpected.
Well, who would be the nice kind of competitive somebody for you to compete against as a nice matchup for you, do you think?
Um, like for this top 5, right? I'm not like for some fighters I quite disagree, because like we I like Ritu Phogat wasn't in the top 5, and then she had, I think, like how many victories more, she had more victories than the Asonia, right? So
Rasohinia,
I
yeah.
think she deserves to be Asonia. So I think she deserves to be on the top 5, because like I think for she fought 2 times with the same opponent, one win and one loss. And to compare with Ritu, I think Ritu deserves more in the top 5. But for now, I think if like we just refer to the fans' comments, they want me to rematch with Denise, and maybe they said I have to, like maybe for the next match they will match me with Sohiham or Hasohinya. So like these 3 fighters, I think is I have to be prepared for.
Which is more exciting for you? Fighting Denice because you have a chance to get back from last time, or fighting Ham because she is a legend?
I think the interesting fight. Okay, you asked me the interesting fight. I think it would be, rematch with Denise, because for the last match or so, it's like a very, very close fight. So I think like if I win this fight, it's actually I like regain back my loss last time.
Well, the main thing is there's so much exciting matchups for you on the horizon. Malaysia's very proud of you, Jihin. Awesome work. Congratulations, and thanks for the interview.
Thank
Sorry, the
you.
internet's been terrible today, but next time it'll be good.
All right.